We have Lisa here today. We're going to be going over some of our favorite drills and exercises for learning cascades and Corbettes. Since you are the guest here, can you maybe tell us some of yours first?
Cascades, definitely foot to hand bumps if you're going to do these from foot to hand. I also really like teaching this one actually from a 2-high. It helps take away one of the variables in the skill, lets the flyer really control what the jump is and really focus on the critical piece of this, which is the jump up and over, and then really working on the receive as flyer and base. So that's one way you can do it, learning it from shoulders, and then the progression to that. Some flyers really don't like the shoulder version and really only like the version from foot to hand, which is fine. I think it's kind of nice to have options as well, depending on what you're using the skill for, performance, whatever else.
Absolutely.
But definitely drills, foot to hand bumps for sure if you're going to do it from foot to hand, and then definitely hand to hand bumps for both Cascade and Corbett, really, because that's going to teach you for the base and the flyer, really learning the receive and the throw. For flyers, biggest thing on a Cascade, you're landing in that handstand position, so you want to land in an engaged position. So I'm really thinking shoulders are shrugged and I'm pushing away. Core has got to be super tight. You don't want your legs to kind of whip over. And I'm also thinking for me, I tend to skew on the side of not necessarily getting my hips up enough. So I really, for this skill, I'm thinking about my hips lining up over my shoulders and my wrists versus my legs. So while the skill is obviously going to end in an aligned handstand, you could end the skill in a straddle, and that still necessitates hips, shoulders, and wrists all in one line.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something I've seen when looking at, like sports acro people, professionals doing the trick. Like they land, you have like wrist, shoulder, hip, but often the legs are slightly tilted like as they're catching, and they kind of finish with the skill.
Yeah, it finishes in like that. It's kind of the same if you think about even an inlocate or relocate. The hips rise up and the legs are sort of the last thing to finish, and you want to be able to feel that controlled finish of the skill. I find that if you're trying to finish the skill before it's all the way back in that final resting spot, that's when you start to see kind of under and over on the handstand. And for a Cascade also, I really love the drill. There's two drills I really like. One is just an assisted handstand on ground in a straddle. Flyers are going to have straight arms and really think about actively shrugging the shoulders. That can be a really challenging one. I've seen flyers struggle with this, but it's a great drill for death drops and trying to get them as high as you can, for Corbettes, for anything that's going to push from a hand for waterfalls.
Getting used to taking that force through the shoulders.
Exactly, and really pushing, not just even like getting used to taking the force, but actively pushing back against the force, and then using that similar concept in any dynamic of kind of spring loading. I'm using my arms to do the same. So as it's starting to push up into my hands, I'm pushing back, and it really allows me to add some additional height into whatever I'm doing off of my hands.